Yo, yo, yo. Welcome back to the channel where we stack chips daily. I am your humble host and got a jam-packed episode for y'all tonight on the market, kind of what's been going on today, Tuesday, April 29th. April's almost coming to an end. It's crazy. It's May already. So, yeah, got a video for y'all tonight. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what stocks you're looking at or what stocks you want to see a video about. I'm happy to do those, but jump right into it. The S&P 500 rose for the sixth straight session. The sixth straight session. We were talking about this yesterday. 5 days in a row. Now we're 6 days in a row. Will we go 7 days in a row? Will we close out April green? Like bulls are kind of running the tape right now as far as like when it comes to stocks, and things have been bullish despite the news. All the headlines are talking about tariffs and how they're increasing prices. The market really isn't worried about that stuff right now, apparently. And then we got big earnings this week. So a lot of companies reporting, but Dow up 300 points, S&P rises, a lot going on in the market today. So going to jump into that. But before we do that, you know how I do. I always like to check out the heat map from the day to see what sectors were hot, where were some bright spots in the market, because those you really need to pay attention to when it comes to making money. Those were the best opportunities today when you see more of the brighter green, like some of the software companies and financials, 2%. Anything over like a 1% day is pretty good. And when you get in that 4 or 5%, like you can make some life changing money when you're in stocks playing options that are seeing 5-10% moves in a day. Yeah, man. A lot of green here today. As we saw, the market overall was up for the 6th day in a row. So you really couldn't miss if you were in stocks yesterday and you were up today in a lot of things outside of like Google, Amazon, Broadcom, Qualcomm, AMD, United Health, Big Red, 3%, almost 3% day down. Some biotech. But overall, good day. We got some more earnings coming up this week. I'm not going to pull out the map, but I think Microsoft reports tomorrow after close. I believe Meta reports tomorrow or Thursday. Don't call me on that. But Apple absolutely reports on Thursday. So they're going up into earnings. So I know the market's ready to see what those earnings are going to look like. And then last but not least, before we jump into the charts, I know I'm kind of going through this kind of fast tonight, but tomorrow on Wednesday, we do have some data. ADP, getting the Chicago Business Barometer in terms of business. We get the PCE, right? Personal income tomorrow at 8:30, PCE at 10. That would be market moving. Can't wait for that. Can wait for that. But yeah, pending home sales. I'm not sure this is going to be high, right? The pending home sales. That's a whole nother conversation. But the market right now, I live in the DC area. Are people buying? Like, is inventory low? Are people really going out there buying around this time of year? Because traditionally, people buy more in the spring. It starts to warm up. People are more out seeing houses. Will that trend continue this year, despite everything that's going on with tariffs and stuff like that? Interest rates, we'll learn more about next week when Powell speaks. But yeah, this is the data for this week. And then Thursday, we got some more jobless claims every Thursday. Auto sales. Seeing a lot of auto news pop up on my timeline, on my feed. Interesting rest of this week. And then moving into next week, like I said, a Fed meeting on Wednesday. And then Yeah. All right. Jumping right into the chart tonight. S&P 500 chart. Got it pulled up 4 hour. Gonna zoom out a little bit. Weekly chart. It's Tuesday. Weekly candle got a low at 545. The highs at 555. So kind of a 10-point range so far. But I think we still got room to go in this candle, right? Really some good action up top. And if you peep out the daily chart, almost had three green soldiers here. Yesterday kind of messed that up for the most part, but we still closed higher than the previous day. But saying that, like, the market has generally been bullish in the past couple of days, despite the news. So it's kind of like a bad news drives the market up type of situation right now because we haven't heard anything new on tariffs being paused. We haven't had any like great news because companies are not beating their earnings. They're kind of missing on a lot of these numbers, but the market's continuing to go up, right? So we're in this different type of environment right now where you got to be able to kind of read between the lines and understand what's going on behind all the noise. So right here, clean chart from bottom straight up, right? So this is the day chart. This is the 4 hour chart. Draw my levels off the 4 hour chart. Hit that 555 range, and we kind of got off for today, right? Will we have some more steam tomorrow to shoot us up? We got some catalysts in the market with some data that we just went through, the PCE, the personal spending, or was that personal income? We got the personal income tomorrow. So all that's a lot of stuff has to do with the job market. So interested to see that data tomorrow, right? And see what we do. Like I would love to see a close above this 555 range for me to continue to be bullish, right? I want to see that first 4 hour close. And then like 570 is definitely in play for me. Prior to that 570 range, I would say 566. That area, we saw some buying, we saw some hard selling, 65 off that candle back in late May, of late March. We sold hard off there. Um, got back 566 level, sold off again, then we really sold off hard. So I think we can get to this 565, this 200-day moving average on the 4 hour tomorrow. Like if we're bullish, uh, go all in, right? Not with your portfolio. Definitely manage risk, but the levels I'm watching tomorrow on SPY when it comes to looking at this 4 hour chart. I'm looking at this breaking through this 555 level. Want to see a good hour close, maybe around 10:30, and then definitely think we could retest this 200-day moving average up into 566. And then, like I said, the rest of this week we got earnings reports. So, do we see this 570 level prior to a Thursday? Not sure. I think we got some room to run, but it's not out of the question if we're bullish. But on the bearish side, for tomorrow, the levels I'm watching are, of course, 555 to the downside, and then that 549, 545 range. So, jumping right into Tesla, another stock that we're watching this week, making some moves off these 222 lows of last week. Strong candle to the upside last week, and then this week we kind of sold off early and then ran back up. So Tesla is definitely on my watch list. Seeing a lot of momentum, seeing volume kind of pick up after the low early April or mid April. Volume's picking up. Earnings are behind us. They got a lot of catalysts coming up in the future, as I mentioned in previous videos. So just a day chart, zooming in, 4 hour, ran right up against that 200-day moving average today. Actually did a couple days ago. Got some buyers trapped above there, but I retested it. So this is like that spot for Tesla tomorrow to see, hey, are we gonna drive past this to this $300 psych level, or are we gonna fade? Right now, chart really gives bullish flag right here. So do we continue to kind of chop until the weekend, or does Tesla make a decision? Right? Really got bought off this 100-day moving average and pushed back into the 200-day moving average. This looks like a clean chart. This is a chart that you want to trade on the daily. Like when you see a chart like this, you're like, man, I can make this looks good. It has direction, right? We haven't been seeing a lot of direction in the market for a lot of April. It's been up, it's been down, but we've been seeing a lot of range. Now we kind of got some direction. It's making a solid trend line from this 221 low, right? We've been trending up this whole time. So what's next for Tesla? I think 300 is next. The levels I'm watching for Tesla tomorrow are 300. I want to see a break of this 200-day moving average, maybe a 15, 30-minute close. Tesla can move really quickly, but I see that. I'm going to look to calls. I see it break down off this projected, like really hard breakdown under this trend line. Let's see, maybe a 30-minute hour close. I would be looking at puts. I probably stay away from puts for Tesla right now. It's been really strong since last Monday. Only willing to risk money on calls right now on this type of stock that can really move with buyers stepping to the tape. This one really moves. So Tesla, watching this tomorrow. All right. So this is a bonus stock right here. American Battery Technology. This is a stock that I've been watching for a little while, right? So great buy signal last week off the lows. Let me zoom out a little bit to the weekly chart. So we were able to reclaim this 20-day moving average pretty quickly, and then it ran up, sold off. But a couple of days later, buyers aggressively stepped into the tape. Excuse me. A couple of days later, buyers aggressively stepped into the tape and pushed this all the way up to the 100-day. Really kept coming back to the 20-day, but really never went underneath it. So it's really strong. Then today we have a catalyst. This stock had a letter of intent for financing for a lithium mine based in Nevada. So really bullish news, knowing that a lot of those things are made in China with their minerals, with their materials. Like the whole supply chain for that stuff is based in China. So America trying to be less China, more at home made. This is a stock that could be like a huge player in that space when it comes to minerals and the components of batteries. So nice move today, really strong candle. Looking for continuation tomorrow. We've already broken through the 200-day moving average on the day chart and the 4-hour chart. Next level for this for me is $2. In the past, this stock has moved. You've never seen it before. Like it runs off the news like this. I'm looking at 200. I'm invested. If we get that $2, who knows, right? But I'll be looking to trim some there. But I am keeping a tight stop right here at 140. So if we do dip under that 140, I will trim some there. And then I have another stop underneath at 130 because my calls are in the money. I'm not tripping right now, but it's always better to sell in the strength. Okay. Don't do what I do. Follow the rules. All right. I'm a little different here. I know what I'm doing. Not new to this. I'm true to this. So, yeah, I do still think this is a premier time to be getting in the stock. I will wait for a pullback before entering. See a pullback at 145, maybe 140. right? And then for it to gap back up, as you can see, we consolidated in this area in February after a run up on some news. But this was big news, man. Getting the financing so you don't have to go out and dilute shares and all those other things. Perfect storm for this stock. I think it'll run some more this week and we'll kind of go from there. So, American Battery Technology, another stock that I'm watching this week. Add it to your watch list. I think it still has some room to run. Definitely check out the company, the news, doing big things out in Nevada. So, that's kind of all I got tonight. Gave you the bonus with the ABAT. Let me know if you got any questions. Like, subscribe, comment, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.